Welcome back, everyone, to a second day of matches here in the OSU MANIA 7 Key World Cup 2025 quarterfinals. We are here to kick off this bracket with, well, this block, I should say, with a absolute banger of a match here. I am Potassium F, joined here with Silveska Els. How are you doing today?
I'm really excited to see what this match is going to be in store for us. I mean, I just know there's going to be a lot of matches that are really good, but this one in particular, seed 4, seed 5, the definition of close is literally right here in front of our eyes between Japan and Indonesia.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get any closer than this. Winners bracket match, of course, so neither of these teams quite in danger of being eliminated just yet, but of course, every single stage that you manage to get through in the winners side of the bracket means so much when it comes to a field that is as stacked as a World Cup is. And of course, just even besides this being a very close seeding-wise match. These two teams, I have a lot of memories of tiebreakers between these two teams just generally throughout the World Cups.
Fair enough. So Japan's going to protect Rise 3, and I think Indonesia's going to protect LNs.
Rise 3 is like the most Japan protect like I've ever seen.
Definitely is. I think Indonesia protects LN4 or LN1. Nothing in between. Just because they're both the LNs that I think Indonesia will do really good on. And as I say, yeah.
There's a few spicy picks, I feel like, in this match. It's definitely going to end up being Japan probably leaning towards more of the Rice picks and Indonesia going for those LNs and hybrids, as we're seeing in the Protects. But there are a couple of like individual maps that are pretty close between the two teams, at least last week. Both of these teams getting number 1 and number 2 on Rice 1 last week is something that does stand out to me, as well as LN1. In fact, Japan getting the number 1 LN1 score of round of 16 was not something that I expected coming into this year.
Wait, really?
Wait.
No way.
Oh. Okay, Rice 2 being banned from Indonesia, they're really targeting that ratio ability for the Rice picks for Japan, which makes a lot of sense. And what does Japan ban? Because I don't think Japan actually wants to ban LN1, as that would be the case in any other match. They're going to actually ban the LN2 instead, somehow being more comfortable with the full inverse.
Okay, so LN2 being banned. You know, I had to look at the statistics just to make sure that was true, and it really is. Yeah, that is not expected at all.
Yeah, historically, Japan definitely not being a team that has been good at LNs in the past few years, at least relative to their skill level, that is. But the addition of Suzuha, I guess, and also Butanic really leveling up this year in the LN department is really showing an improved performance for Japan overall.
Very true in that. So now we're going with the core jack pick already. Okay.
Oh my god, dude.
Potassium told me this right before the stream. He told me that I should check my Twitter, and I was like, okay, I wonder why, and I didn't. So just for the record, I didn't. So I want to know this performance first before I look back. So
yeah, I will not spoil it, but anyone that wants to spoil themselves, you can go check out Butanic's Twitter. It's a score. It's one of the scores. But whether or not he can pull it out here is obviously a very different story. Very easy to mess up on the slightest thing when we're dealing with insane ratios that we would be expecting from all 4 of these players on both of these teams. So small mistakes could mean quite a lot.
So let's see what scores we're going to be seeing from both teams. I actually think off of sheer consistency alone. Oh, here we go. I'm so nervous. But here's the thing. Like, sheer consistency alone, if, let's say, Indonesia can manage to gamble a full combo for the entire team, and let's say they're gonna hope Japan misses and that happens, that would be a really massive breakpoint.
It would be a huge one. This is Japan's most comfortable skill set. And I mean, even though it is their most comfortable, like as you said, it is something where the point difference is going to be really small no matter what. So small mistakes are very possible, and scores can swing very quickly if there is any significant mistakes from either team. Oh, and a bit of a taste early on here. Everyone holding that 99.9 just about. Rainlily actually drops down to 99.8.
Alright, yeah. So, this is a very close start for everyone. In fact, it's actually Indonesia who has the advantage right now. But here's the thing, while Rainlily is slowly dropping, I just know some act gains will eventually happen. But not to mention, the consistency and fatigue problem is going to be a factor as well on how everyone's going to perform. But, ooh, okay. 500 points for Indonesia. This is nothing yet. It's still way too early to call. I just know the ending is much more difficult than whatever
it does.
is in store.
It does get really dense towards the ending, of course, but we can see Rainlily increasing that accuracy. It might have been an early 200 from him early, and now managing to hit that 99.9 just about in this break section it should be. But Indonesia with a double 99.95, dropping a little bit, but still maintaining that lead for now.
It's actually
as small
crazy,
as it might be.
Still no misses from either side, but now, this is where I think, unironically, Japan could increase their accuracy a lot.
Ravko actually does find a little bit of an act drop there, and that's going to give the lead over to Japan ever so slightly.
Well, I'm not even seeing a single 300 from Botanic right now, by the way. That's crazy. Oh
my god, a miss!
But that's a 99.8, so it's not exactly too bad of a miss.
It's clean, but yeah, at the same time, now Indonesia needs Japan to miss. There is no in-between. Japan will not drop accuracy enough to counteract this miss.
That's crazy. Now Botanic and Rainlily are ahead of Ravko. A while ago, that wasn't the case. Ontapikasi and Ravko had the ACK advantage. But that's just not going to pan out well right now. Now that it's more dense, I just know Indonesia's starting to feel the effects of fatigue, the effects of having to force themselves to be consistent. I just know this is the pattern that Japan will really do well on.
This is a crazy recovery from Rainlily as well. This accuracy has just shot up throughout the map, and 1997 team score. I'm gonna reveal what the Botanic Twitter was about. He got 8 300s in private.
Yeah, 8 300s. So Look, I know this is a great score from both Japanese players, especially for Botanic, and Ontapikasi had a great performance, so 82 300, it's not a joke. But why do you feel like this is an underperformance from Botanic? 56 300s is no joke. But Botanic,
56 is insane. You can just see the difference in the scores between these players here. 0 200s in the entire lobby, 3 double S's, and even without that unfortunate miss there from Ontapikasi, it does seem like Japan would have the advantage in the ratio department, as well as the double SSs helping that out, and Japan managing to clean up their own protect early on.
That's crazy because, you know, if this is what Botanic's quote-unquote underperformance is, we're in for a treat here on the rest of the Rice picks.
Yeah, I just don't understand. Like, 999k on Score V2 is so insanely hard to get, especially in a tournament situation. And they're just kind of like pulling it out like it's nothing. Oh yeah, let me just SS this map real quick on quarterfinals.
Well, fun fact though, this isn't the best 300 count anyone has gotten on match. That would actually have to go to Logan with, I believe, 31 300s. So, but even though that's the case, Botanic was the one who delivered with the full combo and the D1SS, so Botanic was the highest score so far.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes for Indonesia now, because this is an important pick for them. They're going to have their first pick coming in.
So yeah, now let's see what's gonna happen.
They are deciding to go towards the LN pool, avoiding their own hang on. Yeah, they are. This is LN3, right? So they are avoiding their own protect just for now. Deciding to go with something in between right away. Of course, I don't expect them to go for the LN1 at all in this match. So one of their 2 LN picks is coming out here.
All right. So now, I'm really excited to see how LNs will go. I know Suzuha is very adept at LNs, but like something you mentioned a while ago, it seems like Botanic has improved a lot on the LNs as well.
As if he wasn't already good enough last year. But Indonesia, I mean, looking at Indonesia in particular, Onta Bekasi is one of those names that I expect to be a really heavy-hitting LN player. And that, even for Team Japan, is probably going to be a pretty hard score to be able to match, especially if there are some combo breaks in here, which should be expected. I don't expect to see very many 4-way full combos, even in a match this high level.
So now, accuracy-wise though, seems like Japan is sort of getting lower than Indonesia, but this is expected. I know Onta Bekasi is very adept to LNs. Rafko is as well, but now Botanic finding the first drop, and actually the act difference is pretty big for both teams. So that's going to be a bit concerning.
Both players on Japan holding 99.4, while Indonesia is still holding onto those 99.6s, so definitely a strong accuracy lead right out the gate along with that one miss. And 11,000 points, definitely not safe just yet, but we are halfway into the map already, very short one.
Indeed. And 30,000 points of the difference doesn't look too big. But you have to remember, this is a 2v2 setting only, and this is 1 minute and 56 seconds. This can evaporate instantly if Indonesia finds drops and accuracy in combo, but it doesn't look like it's happening anytime soon. Just very good consistency from Indonesia here. I mean, Japan's doing great too, but that accuracy is still not enough.
Yeah, all 4 players' accuracy is dropping, to be fair. Rafko actually now with the MVP performance in the lobby, but still much higher on the side of Indonesia. That was a fake miss, so just
Indeed,
I did have to do a double take for that one.
But doesn't really matter, as there's only so little of the chart left.
Oh, double miss for Indonesia. Really weird situation, but I don't think it should be enough. Those were very clean misses.
And accuracy lead is way too strong as well, not to mention only very little time left, so it's not gonna matter too much.
Yeah, shout out to Suzuha actually being the only FC at the end of the map there, but MVP is going to both of the Indonesian players for the accuracy alone, and that is going to be Indonesia picking up their own point. So 1-1, both teams keeping it competitive so far.
That's actually crazy. A great bounce back pick from Indonesia, but you know, I'm just a bit concerned because there's only 3 LN picks left, and I believe there's still like 4. Rice picks are 5? I could be wrong. Let's take a look. Okay, 4 left. 4 left.
There's 4 rice picks left. I am not even going to... I don't think Indonesia should even pick LN1, so I think Indonesia should go to hybrids after their LN4 pick later, but I guess that's a discussion for another time because Japan might just pick out the entire rice pool. That might just be their strategy right away. We know how comfortable they are on their rice, especially with a player like Rain Lily on their team. But this is one that I know Indonesia performed exceptionally well on last week as well, getting the number 2 team score on the speed pick.
Fair enough.
So I definitely don't think this is a free one at all for Japan, and I expect maybe to see coming in for Indonesia if they're swapping out a player here. You know, one of their players that definitely specializes in the rice picks in general, so Onta Bekasi going to be taking a little bit of a break. And I guess that is one of the nice things about these high-level teams rosters. They do have that luxury of having their star players have a bit of a break here and there on maps that they're not comfortable on.
fair enough. Fair enough. I think it's great that both of these teams are very versatile in who they can select to play. So I really agree that Onto Picasso should be taking a bit of a break here and let Yeah do the work. I think Rice really suits Yeah better.
I'm trying really hard not to just respond with yeah, but I don't know. But let's see how this one goes for Japan. Obviously, they are expected to get the higher accuracy, at least comfort-wise, on a map like this. But of course, being a less than 2-minute map as well on this one, misses could mean quite a lot, especially if they're fairly dirty. So we'll see. So far, actually, all 4 players off to a very good accuracy start on this pretty straightforward intro. Oh, okay. Actually, early miss from Rain Lily. That's going to give a little bit of an advantage over to Indonesia for now.
Only a little bit though. But here's the thing, there's so much of the chart left. And while Indonesia has a combo advantage, accuracy-wise, it's actually still in the middle, just because of Botanics, 99.92.
What is that? What is Botanic doing? What is 99.9?
Yeah, this is not a safe lead by any means. Especially with how this chart plays. I just know fatigue is gonna start to kick in. You know, I keep on saying that word, fatigue, recently. But it's really important to highlight that while it doesn't seem like you are tired, you will eventually lose that focus at some point. And that's sort of happening to everyone here. Even Botanic to an extent, as they're starting to drop that accuracy a little bit. Indonesia would have to drop at some point for any comeback possible. But wait,
No.
never mind. No.
It's 1,000.
Indonesia cannot make any more mistakes though, because this is a very small lead and Japan is right up there catching up. Oh,
I don't even know if mistakes are needed. Rain Lily's increasing the accuracy over time. Might just be able to make up for that miss through accuracy alone. And this is less than 1,000 points now. Last few patterns of the map.
Wait.
And oh, who's going to take it? It's going to be Japan by 500 points, managing to offset that early miss just through the accuracy. 993k for Botanic, and he needed every single one of those points.
I'm not gonna lie, Indonesia's ratio isn't too far apart. so that kind of gives me hope that Rice parts doesn't look too bad at all.
Yeah, I mean, a super impressive double FC from Indonesia. Like, these scores are really not that far apart whatsoever. Ratios really comparable, and the 200 counts as well. Like, with Yeah getting 3 200s, that was very winnable for Indonesia. Just barely slipped by. And Japan breathing a massive sigh of relief for that, because Indonesia are looking really strong on the LNs as well. So I don't think either team can really afford a breakpoint this early into the match. And they're going straight for their own protect. They want to be right on Japan's tail here in terms of the points. And switches out for both teams onto Bakasi, of course, coming back in for the LN pick. And we're going to be seeing Misa for the first time on Team Japan, at least for this match.
So, I just noticed, but the bottom players haven't had a single swap at all. Both Botanic and Rafko have been playing literally everything so far.
Yeah, definitely the well-rounders, the all-rounders of their teams, I should say. Botanic definitely the player that can play everything. And Rafko has actually been playing really super solid on all of these maps so far.
Okay, yeah, let's see though. I mean, Botanic and Rafko have been solid, but let's see how long they can hold this.
Yeah, more of a coordination pick. So despite that star rating, there has been a very good reason why this has been, I think, the most banned map so far. Or if not, definitely one of them.
And now Misa finding a miss.
Yeah, and right out the gate, you can see a very clear difference in the level of comfort between the two teams. Trading misses from Rafko and Botanic there and Misa onto actually missing as well. So all four players actually finding their own struggles at the start of this map as we're getting into it. But it's a fairly long one, so plenty of time to recover that. Oh, wait, was that a fake miss from Rafko? I think it may have been. So I think that means Rafko is still on the full combo, if I'm not mistaken, and Misa does find that second miss. So this lead is going to start growing in favor of Indonesia.
Yeah, that lead is starting to increase. Like, the more Ellen release this gets, I just think Indonesia benefits a lot of this, and it's a great choice for a protect.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's like one of the things when it comes to LN coordination is if you're not comfortable or if you show any kind of signs of discomfort with comboing these, it is so extremely hard to maintain combo. That, like, this map is not going to let up, and it is very hard to believe a player that would miss multiple times is going to ever hold significant combo throughout the map. But of course, willing to be proven wrong here, Japan kind of needs to hold on to these big combos that they have now and hope for Indonesia to miss a few times if they want to come back, because 20,000 points is quite a lot on a long map.
They need to start hoping for Indonesia to drop their act first, but that's the first sign. On to Kasi, finding drops on the slow section can really help Japan start to recover some of the lead. But still, without Rafko dropping, that's really gonna affect Japan a lot.
Yeah, Rafko is absolutely crushing this right now. 99.7 is absolutely towering over both of the Japanese players right now, as Botanic does find another miss, down at 99% flat now. So this lead is really not going to be going down anytime soon. It is going to be growing massively over time as Misa finds another miss there.
Yeah, that's gonna be... Yeah, those misses from Japan are just really not helping. And now there's a little bit more of the chart, but I think Indonesia, as long as they don't have a massive drop for both players, they can comfortably keep this lead. But still, have to be very careful.
Yeah, a bit of the map left, but yeah, 38,000 points now would be one of the chokes of all time to lose from this position. I don't think it's going to happen. I think they have a safe enough lead at this point with these kind of accuracies.
Yeah, it's starting to increase a little bit, but just like that, I think Rafko is gonna hold on to the lone full combo of this chart. That's crazy. I don't think Rafko has missed a single time this entire match.
Wait, is that true? Surely at least once. Let
me double check. So let's see. Rice won. Rafko full combo. Rice. Okay, the first pick, Rafko full combo. Okay, no. Yeah, Rafko missed once. Only once though.
But also, I'd like to just add on to that the one map that he missed. He did also MVP. So. Not particularly a mistake either, but this is a monstrous performance here from Indonesia with 988k full combo from Rafko, and onto Bekasi not that far behind, getting similar accuracy as well. That is exactly why Indonesia was protecting that one and keeping it tied up 2-2. And now it's Japan's kind of time. It feels like Japan is the team that really needs to prove at this point that their picks are strong for them, because Rice 1 was way too close for them.
Well, Rice 1's picks are built to be either very close or very far apart, so I understand why that one was close. Rice 1, however, I can see where you're coming from.
Oh, and we're going to be seeing the OSU original coming out. Rice 5, the mixed Rice pick. Another one that, I mean, from what I've seen so far, this could be fairly close as well.
I think I agree. I'll have to agree with this pick from Japan.
Of course, we're going to be getting Rain Lily being switched back in. I wonder if we're seeing a switch in for Indonesia, or if they're going to keep the same two players, keeping on to Bekasi in for this one. I think they do have a bit of a luxury of choice here on the side of Indonesia, which is nice as well. But yeah, looks like it's going to be the same team for Indonesia once again. We'll see how this one goes, if this is going to be just as close as the last Rice map we saw, or if Japan is going to clean up their mistakes. This one has quite a lot of choke potential as well, with the number of mini jacks at this BPM as well. And all of like the bursts and transitioning in and out of all these patterns. We can definitely see a lot of players finding misses here and there. But out the gate looks like Japan with a slight accuracy advantage at the start.
So court jacks, I mean, this kind of patterns benefit Japan. But now, the technicality, I won't be surprised if you see a lot of like misses here all around. But now, with Rain Lily dropping accuracy and that miss too, that's gonna give Indonesia some. Wow.
Messy miss there for Rain Lily. That's down to 99.1 briefly. That's gonna give Indonesia a fair lead. Only 7,000 points, so definitely nothing quite solid just yet. Botanic, of course, still with the MVP of the lobby so far. So still holding them in for Japan, but they're going to be hoping for Indonesia to find a mistake at some point.
I don't know, Botanic's starting to show some signs of fatigue, and that focus I keep on mentioning a while ago is starting to show up a little bit. However, it may not be obvious, but I have a feeling some cracks are starting to form.
Oh my god, now wait, not again. Look at this score lead though. This is deja vu from Rice 1. This lead is shrinking quite quickly at that as well, already down to 5,000 points.
But Japan has to keep that consistency. They cannot drop anymore. These patterns are getting even harder though. So this is their opportunity to strike back at Indonesia. It's getting even smaller. But the Indonesian players refuse to make any mistakes, refuse to give any lead to Japan. This could be a break point right in the front of our eyes.
Oh, there's such a little part of the song left, but Rafka getting the miss.
There it is. Will this give it back to Japan? It does. But assuming no miss for Japan happened, they hit the mini jacks. And just like that, Japan takes this point. I thought Indonesia had it, but that, as from Rafko, decided it was not yet this time.
Japan are stealing their own picks away from Indonesia. It feels like Indonesia deserved at least one of these two Rice maps that we've seen recently, but absolutely not, says Botanic in particular. 992 again with the full combo, and just an unfortunate one miss for either team.
Can I be honest? This is a concerning look for Japan right now. Like what you said a while ago, Indonesia has been winning their picks convincingly. While Japan, they've had to fight for every single Rice pick. You know, this is not a sustainable strategy, because at some point you're gonna be tired, you're gonna start to feel the fatigue coming in. I'm not really so sure if this is a sustainable strategy right now.
I would say there's kind of two sides of this, because while I do agree Japan has been really fighting for these Rice picks, Indonesia's also out of LN picks now. After they've just picked the LN1 now, this is Indonesia's last pick for LN. They can only win one more maximum of the LN picks. They have to win probably one or two hybrids after this if they want to force a tiebreaker out.
I Okay, I understand your point, but the thing is, Indonesia doesn't have to sweat as much as Japan has to take these points away. Like, that's my biggest concern.
We'll see. That might change later on, and it might change in this one as well, because I'm not sure exactly how this is going to scale for either team, but I am terrified of Japan's LN1 performance last week. That was inhuman scores that I saw.
Very much so. But now, let's see how Indonesia respond.
Yeah, gonna be seeing Misa coming in for this one. Of course, Indonesia, Onta and Ravko are the two players I would expect here for all of these LN maps. But Misa joining instead of Suzuha in particular on this one. Of course, Misa actually has been playing a few of the LN maps really well so far this tournament, so that would make a lot of sense. And actually a bit of accuracy trouble on the side of Misa, it looks like at the very start, holding that 97% now. Some of the releases may be a little bit early. And
actually,
miss.
They're actually a bit too late. If you were to look at the unstable rate for Misa, it's actually more late than it is early. So that's saying that probably, like, the level of coordination needed here is way above, or not really way above, or like above the skill level that's needed for this match.
And both Indonesian players on the other side doing very well. That was not a miss. Okay. I'm still safe from the curses so far this match. But two double... Okay, one FC. On the side of Indonesia's. Onta does find a very clean miss. Misa is catching up in the accuracy now, almost at the 99%, so actually seems to have stabilized a little bit, but 12,000 is already a decent lead for Indonesia as we're already at the halfway point of the map. Japan's going to have to hope for maybe two more misses from Indonesia if they want to make a bit of a comeback here. Their accuracies are not bad on the side of Japan, but Indonesia's is just a little bit better, and Misa does find another miss as well, so Indonesia looking fairly comfortable so far.
And now Misa finding more of these misses. Even though Onta also dropped, it doesn't really matter if the accuracy... You know what, come to think of it, this difference is just Misa and Onta Pikasi, because Ravko and Botanic are very close. I mean, Botanic actually has a slightly higher accuracy than Ravko. And not to mention the full combo as well.
Yeah, now Ravko does find a miss, but it's ultimately going to be inconsequential because that is a clean miss, and Misa does trade it out anyway. So 20,000 points just about. Indonesia is going to clean sweep this LN pool and take it 3-3 despite Botanic full comboing once again.
Oh no, I see it. I see something. But anyways, yeah, the target counts not too far apart. Actually, the ratio isn't as well. I think Japan could have a slightly better ratio than Indonesia, just off of the timing. So that's a great score from Japan, and they really could have contested that. But it's 3-3 right now.
Yeah, 3-3, and now we're back to the spicy picks. Back to the rice, which has been a bit of a coin toss. And I wonder which one they're going to go for. I feel like given that it's Japan, Rice 6 is likely to come out now. Especially if they want to try and hold together more full combos, you know, try not to let more of these misses slip through. Rice 6 would be the more comfortable of the two maps left over. And it does seem like that is what they're going to be going for.
Let's see first though. so it's going to be... Okay, I did... Okay, rice 6. 1 minute and 54 seconds. Okay, this might sound weird, but if Japan finds a mistake here, then this is gonna look like a really bad pick from Japan. Because the entire story for a lot of these rice picks has Japan has been playing catch-up against Indonesia.
Yeah, and I mean, a short map like this, single misses are going to hurt the score quite a lot. I see where you're coming from there. And Japan has been the team to make those single misses here and there. So I guess for Indonesia, the name of the game is going to be holding on to the combo, because if Indonesia can pull out 2 full combos, this is their opportunity primed for a break point. The first in the match, potentially.
So yeah, I am really nervous on this pick because I just know this can go either way.
And let's see it. We are going to be getting in onto Bekasi and Rafko staying in for Indonesia. And of course, Rain Lily swapping back in once again for the Rice.
So now we're gonna be seeing how these two teams perform. Very high pressure situation. It is only a best of 5 right now. So both teams are really on, have to lock in much more.
These are some exceptional starting accuracies from all 4 players right now. Rafko with 99.7, a little bit behind the other players, but not by much. So only 1,000 points the difference. And of course, what we're really looking out for is any kind of combo drops or significant mistakes from either team.
Indeed.
Accuracy lead growing in favor of Japan. Both of them holding above that 99.86 for Rain Lily. 99.7s for both of the Indonesians, so it's a little bit behind overall as a team. But still, 1 miss is all it takes.
And Rain Lily has shown signs of being unstable. But the thing is, for this pick, it seems like both Japanese players have been able to stand their foot on the ground, keeping their consistency as needed. Indonesia isn't too far apart, but they're ready to strike when they have the opportunity.
Oh, it's so close towards the end still. No one really making any significant mistakes. It's just that accuracy lead. That's the entire thing.
Yeah, very impressive work.
I don't want to mention a certain name right now, so I'm looking at elsewhere until the map finishes. But this is looking like a 4-way full combo in this lobby is insane. And 1991 with an obscene 997k from Butanic.
And a V1SS as well. Actually, the only one in the lobby. Japan performed so well, but you know, Indonesia performed amazing too.
I mean, what can you do? 4-way full combo. You cannot say that any of these scores is not fantastic.
Like, this is a very, like, even with Indonesia's score, I'm sure this will beat out a lot of teams.
Absolutely, 100%. This is exactly why Indonesia is seeded so high as well. Getting the double 991, 992k scores. You would be hard-pressed to find any team that could even contend with that kind of team score. But Japan, of course, Chord Stream team right here. And Indonesia now have their tough decision of which hybrid do they pick, because the Rice is not going to be the one that they're going to pick, I can tell you that much.
I don't know what Indonesia picks to... I don't know if it's hybrid 3.
Hybrid
Maybe
2.
hybrid. I'd say hybrid 2. Okay.
Hybrid 2. I think Hybrid 2 has some of the more tricky LN patterns. So if they're trying to really attack that comfort zone for Japan, this is probably the pick to go for.
Let's see. I mean, I actually wonder. This is a 2-minute. Okay, so again, there's a bit of a room for mistakes, but considering the level of competition here, yeah, I don't think there is a lot regardless.
Yeah, I mean, actually, kind of an addition to this being the more LN heavy of the hybrids relatively, it's also the shortest hybrid, which probably does benefit Indonesia at this point, seeing how the combo has been going back and forth between the teams. But actually feels like it's been a little bit of time since we've seen Suzuha coming back in. Actually, yeah, we haven't seen Suzuha since the second pick of the match.
Fair enough,
Interestingly enough. So we'll see how this one turns out. The first hybrid that we're going to be seeing, and I'm sure everyone's kind of thinking about right now, it very well could go the distance to the tiebreaker. So I'm going to be looking very carefully at how these hybrids go, because it may be a bit of an indication as to that tiebreaker potential of which team might have the edge in their kind of well-roundedness between skill sets.
Yeah, now I'm really curious if Indonesia can take an advantage on hybrid. So we have here the presence of Minijax. Putting in Suzuha here makes a lot of sense. Just because I think Suzuha is more adept to these kinds of technical patterns. And accuracy can go to Indonesia right now, but it's all about the consistency. A while ago, Japan has been playing catch-up and has been showing that they can definitely do so.
Yeah, I mean, so far, neck and neck, all four accuracies are just about the same. They're all hovering around that 99.7 mark. Botanic drops a little bit of accuracy, but 1,000 points still the difference between the teams, and still 4 FCs. I'm waiting. Where's the misses? Guys? Hello?
Still no misses. Okay, I'm gonna predict there's gonna be a miss. Now, I'm joking. I'm joking. That's not gonna happen. But look at this. Technical LS. This is the part that I think Indonesia can take. But why is it so close? No one is finding mistakes yet. Oh.
Okay, Suzuha does find one miss, but Onta does trade it pretty quickly, so those are going to cancel out each other a little bit. And these accuracies are so close between the two teams still. It's less than 1,000 points of difference, and I actually don't know who's in the lead right now. Botanic with the highest accuracy might just give Japan the advantage, but there's still so much of the map left.
There still is. While Japan has the lead right now, I wouldn't call this safe. Even if this is a rice part, Indonesia has shown that they can be adept to these patterns too. With more of these LNs, I am so nervous right now.
Oh, these LNs are so brutal. I can't believe no one's missing on these. How do we still have 2 full combos? It's the end of the map already, but 2,000 points. Still opportunity to find mistakes. A few 200s might be enough to flip this score. But 2,800 points, Japan finding a break point on the 8th map of this match. Just barely with their accuracy.
Even if we had a double full combo, I'm not sure if that was enough. Wait, you know what? Okay, this will be 981 for Suzuha. And then Onta will have like 982. Yeah, I don't think it would have been enough.
I think it's just cleanly like 1 miss for each player. So take away that 1 miss for each player. That's the same amount of score that they would have lost, I think, either way. But still, it's so close on that hybrid. And it's definitely not over at this point. Even though Japan managing to get to match point on that one, Indonesia could absolutely win this rice pick and then win a hybrid. Like, you can imagine that so easily right now.
A breakpoint can happen in rice. We literally saw on all the rice picks that the difference is so close.
Absolutely minuscule differences. And this one, I mean, speaking of all the rice picks, this is probably the least comfortable map for Japan. Not just because they picked it last, but also because it's the tech map. Just in general, a bit less physical, but also way less straightforward than any of the other rice maps that we've seen. And look at that, guess who we're seeing back in? We're going to be seeing, yeah, one of the players who was part of that near breakpoint on the Rice 1 for Indonesia there. So definitely a player that can keep up with these technical bursts that we're going to be seeing in this map.
Yeah, very technical, but I can see why yeah was put in here. So here's the thing though. Like, I mean, it was, what was the pick in Rice 1, right? The one that Indonesia
Rice
almost
1.
won. Yeah,
that
it
was
makes
with
a lot of
Yeah and
sense.
Rafko.
It makes a lot of sense why yeah is subbed in here.
And another 2-minute long map, so mistakes are crucial for either team. They cannot be affording any of those. And it couldn't come at a more nerve-wracking time for both of the teams as well. Japan needs to capitalize on this point lead. And of course, Indonesia is required.
But here's the thing, Botanic is starting to drop in accuracy. And we've seen Rain Lily be inconsistent on pattern like this. But yeah is also dropping that accuracy. So, like, this is the chart where you will really drop a lot of accuracy if you're not careful. And you know what? I won't be surprised from either teams if this happens too. But now, why is everyone so consistent? Oh.
Well, there is a miss from Yeah, now dropping down to 99.2, so this lead is going to start growing in favor of Japan as Botanic does increase the accuracy back up to 99.6. Both players on Japan beating out the accuracies of the Indonesians. And we're in this little break section here, but they can't relax just yet because these little bursts can be surprisingly tricky.
Yeah, that's gonna be really difficult now. But while it looks like a massive lead, this is only one miss of a difference. So the moment Japan finds any sort of uncomfortableness, this lead will start to shrink. However, Indonesia's accuracy is starting to get lower and lower. This is starting to become scary now.
Somehow Japan's accuracy is rising as well. They're both above 99.7 now, and Yeah finds a second miss right at the start of this section. It is traded by Rain Lily. That's a big miss from Rain Lily.
But Yeah trades one back. That is not good. Indonesia's chances are starting to get lower and lower. Mini jacks galore, so many grace notes, so many cards. I think that is it. Botanic and Rafko doing an amazing job holding these full combos. But ultimately, this was a battle of accuracy and consistency as well. But I just think from the sheer accuracy alone, Japan was way too strong.
And shout out to both of those players you mentioned as well. Botanic and Rafko with the only 2 full combos on this map. And I mean, both of those players played an absolutely insane match as well. The number of misses from those 2 players combined was probably like 4 or 5. Which is absolutely insane for a full-length match just about, but it is going to be Japan winning over Indonesia here in the winner's bracket. They get the prize of going up against South Korea, I believe, next week in the winner's bracket semifinals, whereas Indonesia still gets their chance to continue further in the tournament from that loser's bracket.
Well, yeah, I just know whoever is facing Indonesia should be terrified.